And we find in Surah Al-Anbiya only one more reference, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about a town. Remember the town? And He had destroyed the town, punished it by destroying it, and then expelled the people of the town. وَحَرَامٌ عَلَى قَرْيَةٍ أَهْلَكْنَاهَا. And then He banned the people of the town, that they could never return to reclaim that town as their own. أَنَّهُمْ لَا يَرْجِعُونَ. They are in a state of permanent exclusion, banned from returning to that town. Hatta, until when? Hatta إذا فتحت يأجوج ومأجوج, until Gog and Magog are released. وهم من كل حدب ينسلون وهم من كل حدب ينسلون. And Gog and Magog, when they are released, they spread out in every direction, which is one meaning. And if you spread out in every direction, then you'll take control of the world. The land, the sea, the air. Read Toynbee. Read Arnold Toynbee. Read a book called Civilization on Trial. I'm giving you good books to read, incidentally, not comic books. Read Arnold Toynbee, the British historian. Read a book entitled Civilization on Trial. You should get it on the internet. It was written somewhere around 80 years, 90 years ago, 1935, somewhere around 70, 80 years ago. And in that book, Arnold Toynbee points out that modern Western civilization has risen upon the world with a mission to take control of the whole world. And he says, the land, the sea, the air, everything. He said it in that book. وَهُمْ مِنْ كُلِّ حَدَبٍ يَنْسِلُونَ. They spread out in all directions, and with the indestructible power they take control of the world. For the first time in history, one people will control the whole world. Nobody ever did that before. The other meaning is that they descend from every height. So they target you and they impose themselves upon you. You can't get away from them. Which town is it? Which town is it that is linked with Gog and Magog, which is the biggest footprint of all? Which town? We used this methodology, that we looked at all the ahadith of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ pertaining to Gog and Magog, to see whether there was any town mentioned by him that is linked to Gog and Magog. And when we had studied all the ahadith, we found only one town, only one in the hadith. And it is Baytul Maqdis, Jerusalem, Al-Quds. And so we said, well, here is a hypothesis which is already resting on fairly firm foundations, since this is the town mentioned in the hadith that is connected with Gog and Magog. So let's look and try on the shoe and see whether it fits. Why can't we do that? So then we looked at Jerusalem, and we found that this is a town which was destroyed by Allah, and Banu Israel were expelled from the town, even though Allah had given the land to them. And so we recognize the town to be Jerusalem. And we ask the question, who are those who liberated Jerusalem and brought Banu Israel back to Jerusalem? If you can recognize who they are, you have recognized Gog and Magog. And having expelled them this time, he left a door open for them. Despite all your wickedness, it is still possible. Asa Rabbukum an yarhamakum. It is still possible for you to be forgiven and have mercy. There's only one door. This is the door, a man named Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you shut that door, then tilka ummatun qad khalat. Divine punishment will now begin. And if you are taken for a ride and brought back to the Holy Land by Gog and Magog, and you return with your fasad, then guess what I'll do with you? وَإِنْ عُدْتُمْ عُدْنَا. If you return with your fasad, your wickedness, your oppression, I will return with my punishment. The first time was an army that punished them. The second time was an army that punished them. The third time it will be an army.
But Iqbal it was who said, and I now have to quote him again in Urdu, and they can't take it away from him. You can't do it. It's there. खुल गए याजूज और माजूज के लश्कर तमाम. Some of you will say, oh, we heard this before, you know. But we never thought about it. खुल गए याजूज और माजूज के लश्कर तमाम. All the forces of Gog and Magog have now been released. It's not just that they have been released from behind the barrier built by Zulkarnain in Surah Al-Kahf of the Quran. More than that. They've all been released and they've all spread out over the world. Kul gaye Ya'juj or Ma'juj ke lashkar tamam. All. So this is the world order of Gog and Magog. That is what Iqbal is saying. Chashme Muslim dekhle tafsir harfi yansilu. Now Muslims, you better turn your eyes, direct your attention to the word yansilun. Direct your attention to the word yansilun. Only one scholar in the whole world of Islam, only one, not only recognized it, but proclaimed it. What is this word yansilun? He's referring to the Quran. That's what he's doing.